what blows my mind is in my brain, then you took those people and you moved them to X Defiant, which everybody was telling you that this game was fucking trash.
Yeah, you had to delay the game for 2 years just to get the netcode to work. But one of the things that did piss me off was they continue to foster this kind of culture that the Unheard Edition people are like a super cool club and they're so thankful for them. And honestly, man, as someone who spent $150 on an early access game that had like 3 or 4 maps, you know, like I bought it pretty early on, it's really kind of a slap in the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Push to Talk podcast, your premier FPS podcast where we cover battle royales, extraction shooters, tactical shooters, third-person shooters, and we definitely do not miss uploads due to the hosts completely fucking up the recording.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We don't do that. Never.
We do that. This episode is going to be extra special because this is the second time we're recording it.
Yeah,
so it's going to be really nice for you guys. So
yeah,
I like to start this off with hope you're happy. It's going to be good.
So the question I have is, how are you doing? As if I don't know already.
Yeah,
how are things?
For those of you playing at home, it's been a wild time. Last week there were wildfires within like a mile of the ranch place I was working on, and then this next weekend, my wife and I just kind of decided we're going to make a run for it. So we're going to load up the trailer with all the stuff we can get and try to move down there and move the kids and set up base down at the new place at the ranch in BFE. So next episode, we'll probably be coming to you live from like an unfinished serial killer looking basement via Starlink.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be wild, the bold move. But yeah, we're going to be doing it. So a lot of stuff happening in my world. There were fires everywhere. I was trying to run plumbing, so I had spigots outside in case a fire got close to the house. Like, it was intense, man. I did plumbing, I did new flooring, I did paint. The kitchen cabinets got put in all in like 7 or 8 days. Just
insane.
I've been grinding. I'm looking forward to sitting down, having a little coffee, maybe a little sparkling water, and talking about video games, man. I'm looking forward to this. How about you?
Dude. So I've been playing a decent amount of Deadlock. I've been playing video games. We've been preparing prototype for potentially second Resurgent project. Been working on some things in the back end, development wise. Got out of the house.
Shooter, huh?
What's that?
Multiplayer shooter, huh?
No, maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Huh?
We'll see.
I'll work on it, guys. We'll get it for them. I'll keep working on them.
No, just honestly, it's been actually pretty nice here. So we've been outside, just spending time with the kitties, just out in the backyard. Fiance's been planting a bunch of plants and herbs, and so she's been tending to the garden outside. It's actually just been on my hippie shit right now. It's been nice.
Oh yeah. We're both getting more in touch with the land.
Yeah, touching grass, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
What about these hats we're wearing? Have you seen these?
You know, I have seen these, and I've actually been rocking these for quite a while. I got Crash onto the Mammoth Headwear. And guys, we have a special announcement. Mammoth Headwear is partnering with the Push to Talk podcast. They are our first long-term sponsor for these episodes. And you guys, if you have a big head, you have a big watermelon noggin, and you need to cover it with a hat, like Crash said in the recording that you guys will never see. When you go to the Walmarts and you see a hat that you like and you put it on your head, you already know it's not going to fit.
Yep.
Mammoth Headwear, they got you covered. You can use code PUSH for 15% off your entire order. That's code PUSH, P-U-S-H, for those illiterate ones. 15% off. Big thanks to Mammoth Headwear for sponsoring the Push to Talk podcast. So if you guys want to go over there, yeah, all the codes support the channel. So.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Like, I'm telling you, if you have a big head, you know the struggle. You can go to this website and they will all fit you. You can look through all the different hats. They have the wool ones like Fry has. They have like these performance ones that are like vintage but don't look trucker. They have traditional trucker, and they fit. They will all fit you. There are beanies on there. You guys know you've been in the store like, oh man, that's a cool beanie, and you put it on and it looks like a yarmulke. Like you're ready to go to the synagogue. No, these will all fit you. It's super cool. They have this one. Like, I have a massive head. Like, I have a 7 and 7/8 or an 8. and I wear the regular size. They have another size even bigger than this. So your head is not too big. It's pretty cool. And they're working on shades.
Yeah, they also have these shades. These are the Vic sunglasses. They're extra wide for big heads. So if you guys want to go check them out, they have a couple of different styles. We got the black one sent to us. I was rocking them today and yesterday when we went out to the farmer's market. So
they don't touch my cheeks, man. It's great. So no, it's pretty cool. They got stuff for big-headed people, and it's good stuff. Do you want to talk about WARDOGS in the next segment?
Wait, what's the segment name?
I think it's like a meta breakdown. Welcome into the meta breakdown, and in today's segment, this is where we take a deep dive into one big topic. It is one that we've been following along on this show, and that's WARDOGS, man. Every time they put something out, like, people are getting more and more excited for this. We're going to talk about the things that they went over in this new dev brief, as well as some of the concerns we have with the game, of course, because we just got to keep things grounded around here. But they put out a dev brief that went out to everyone, and in it was pretty much 3 pillars. Like, there are 3 foundational pillars for the game. We're going to talk about those. They said believable foundations, depth in decision making, and then player-driven all-out warfare. Those were the 3 main pillars. And when they started talking about believable foundations, they tried to set the table of using realistic things for the game, but not make it a simulation. Try to add depth via realism, but not necessarily make it too simulation-y. So they went over weaponry models and sounds. They modeled them after real-world stuff. They showed the devs shooting on the range, and sound recording of weapons. I feel like, I want to get Fry's take on this. I feel like I've seen this before. This has almost become an industry standard for me to see. I back in the day when they'd start releasing games that did this, it's kind of oh, cool. But I mean, for a long time, it seems like games like will show the devs shooting guns, and then we're supposed to be like, oh, they know how it works. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, and in the episode that people will never see, I do mention too, going to the range is cool. And I really hope that they took that time to utilize it for audio recording, because there's no better sound than like a mixed actual recording of guns being shot with the ricochets and stuff. But when you're trying to like extrapolate how a gun shoots and how it feels and how punchy it is, and then bring that into a video game, there has been no game that, in my opinion, has done it correctly to get the punch, to get like how it actually feels. And so when I see the ranges and stuff, it's cool. It's a great team building exercise for development. But if you're looking at it, I'm like, oh man, this is going to really like drive up the FPS controller. Very rarely does it ever translate well. But
yeah, and I don't understand what they're going for, because honestly, as someone who shoots a fair amount of firearms, I kind of don't want my games to feel that real, because it wouldn't be as, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, it wouldn't be as approachable, or I don't know, if they tried to add too many nuances and make it too milsimmy and slow, and like how Tarkov kind of did that with whenever they when Nikita just out of nowhere said that they're randomly changing the ADS, and it had that weird hang up, which kind of happens like when you're putting a gun up. Like when I'm mounting a gun, I come up a little bit, look over the top, and then I seat it into my shoulder. Right. And they tried to add that to like Tarkov, and then that's like if they have that in the game, you're gonna hate it. So like,
for sure.
I don't know. Anyway, they're going for realism. I guess it's good to have an idea of what they are. I don't want to say simulating of like, but what they're trying to portray on the screen. So I guess it's good that they're checking that stuff out. I just don't get as excited about it as I used to when I see that.
The one line in the devlog though was that they're not going for a realistic milsim approach. It's gameplay over realism, and they're not going to do realistic stuff just for the sake of doing it, which is where I think a lot of milsim and like indie tactical games, they just go super balls to the walls trying to be realistic as possible, but they forget about the gameplay, right? And so that actually really excited me when I saw that in the devlog, because that's what developers need to do. You need to approach it realistically and grounded, but the gameplay still needs to shine through, right? Yeah,
and that kind of echoes the sentiment they had in one of their last videos, where they put like the spectrum of like, on this side you have like Arma and then Battlefield, and we're kind of in the middle somewhere. I really like that. That's one of the reasons I keep going back to ABI. It's because it fits in that place of a lot of quality of life, kind of arcadey, but still grounded, no b-hopping, no omni movement. Like,
you know what's crazy about this, Crash? I just thought about this. So we lost the last episode, right? But between that recording and now, they've lifted the NDA, or I should say they've relaxed the NDA.
Oh yeah,
and I've got confirmation that I can actually talk about it, and talk about my experiences. So if there's anything when it comes to gameplay or anything that you have questions for, that just as we're kind of going through this devlog that I can maybe clarify, it's actually maybe a good thing that we lost it, because we can go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, while we're here, I mean, is the gunplay on that? Would you agree with their assessment of where they have it as far as?
The gunplay is definitely way less milsim than I think people are thinking. Very much. I don't know if you've ever played Mag back in the day, but the gunplay actually feels a little bit, not in a bad way, but it feels a little floaty. It's not so like clunky and milsim and chuggy. It actually feels very, I don't want to say very arcadey, but they got a nice blend. The time to kill, I think, is going to surprise people.
Is it fast?
No.
Oh.
But it's not Apex Legends, but it's not Arma. It might take 5 bullets to put somebody down, depending on the range, depending on if they're moving. Like, it's very much, you have an opportunity. You're not just going to get one tapped.
But there's armor, right? And different ammo types. So
there is armor, different ammo types and stuff like that. And that's the thing. I've only played a couple of the sessions, but I've just noticed every time I'm shooting at somebody, it's a little bit longer than I'm expecting going into the experience.
Yeah.
That was surprising.
To me, that kind of makes sense with all the levers they have to pull as far as ammo types, armor, distances. Right. We're in a different calibers and stuff. I think the time to kill could kind of be expected to be a little longer, so they have rooms for some of those knobs and levers to be tweaked whenever you're deciding how you want to kit up. Because as we'll get to in a little bit, much of this game is about your decision making and how much money you want to risk versus how much you can make. So I would expect it to be longer now that I think about it, with all the different stuff at play here. Mm-hmm. The next thing they talked about was the War Dynamics engine. So that's running on top of it. This is what is going to do their bullet drop, their ricochets, how it goes through different materials, how it penetrates wood, metal, and the different things like that. Again, to me, bullet drop has kind of been one of those things. I mean, it's been in COD Warzone for a long time. It's just one of those things that's kind of to be expected. The ricochets and pin and all that stuff is really cool. And I got super excited when it came to Gray Zone Warfare, when they started showing off their ballistic simulation and how the bullets acted and stuff. But I've kind of come to realize when I'm playing the game, I don't really think about that stuff.
Nope,
really, it doesn't really change that much, other than on like a surface level of like, there's a bad guy behind wood, I'm going to send some rounds because they might go through. But beyond that, you're not thinking about your ricochets. You're not thinking about how it's going to, if it, deflects or all that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of fluff to me at this point. It's cool that they're doing it, but I don't want a super crazy ballistic simulation that's going to cost me server performance. Like, it's not worth that budget to me.
Mm-hmm. True.
And
absolutely.
I worry about that. I've kind of thought about that since we, recorded this episode not long ago.
Yeah.
When you were playing, did you notice that stuff? Any cool ricochets, or was it just kind of?
No, I didn't. There wasn't a single moment where I went, "Oh man, my bullet just went." Not a single moment, and that's not a bad thing. But it's just like when they're talking about it, and that's why in my video, I put my video out before the NDA kind of relaxed, and I'm kind of sitting there like, none of the shit actually matters. Like, it's cool, and I'm sure the devs are super psyched about it. But in terms of my moment to moment experience, there wasn't a single time. So,
and I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just like, if it doesn't affect server performance, great. Like, if the game still runs good, then
that's
on
top
fine.
of the fact that we are dealing with UE5 performance as well, like anything that is like, to your point, chugging that fucking server to make your tick rate go down, your performance, like, get rid of it.
Yep. I would love to see get to a point where games focus less on realism and more on like performance. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. And then they talked about audio. So I did now what they say and what actually happens is different. I will say that, but they said all the right things with audio in this devlog. Footsteps volume are different and readable, so you can tell kind of at a really quickly if it's a friendly or an enemy footsteps direction. So that's really good. If it happens. And then it does.
I can confirm the footsteps are really, really good. There were some mixing problems when you're kind of like near like helicopters and stuff like that, but in terms of the enemy footsteps, you can clearly tell the difference.
Awesome.
And there was a few times we were in buildings and I went, oh no, there's somebody around here. You could they did a very good job on that.
That's great. This early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to hear that this early is great. And then they went in a little bit in depth into what they want to happen whenever you hear whiz by shots. So when bullets come by you, you should be able to delineate where it's coming from. You can tell if it's a small or large caliber, suppressed or not. And even artillery shells have like a whiz as they're coming in, and you can like emote and salute everyone and say goodbye as the arty shell is dropping on your head.
Right.
So yeah, I love that stuff. Really good audio cues in the heat of combat that you key into almost, not even having to think about it, almost subconsciously, just being able to read footsteps and play the game. Sounds awesome. It sounds really good. And so you were overall like audio pretty decent?
It's pretty decent. I mean, it's nothing revolutionary. In terms of the different calibers, yes, absolutely true. A lot of the people that we were playing with were using starter kits, so it's not like we saw a wide range of different weapons. So like if I couldn't tell if that was that caliber, because I didn't know enough about the game yet. But I'm sure once you get into the shit and you unlock more stuff and you actually can experience the full suite, you'll know. Yeah,
nice.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to harp on them too much either. It's like super early, so like, yeah, sounds promising for where they're at in the development cycle. The other thing they said is this was cool to me. You don't have to have like a gunsmithing degree to be able to do your loadout. They said the vendors will only show mag types and ammo for the gun that you have equipped, so you don't have to scroll through pages and pages of attachments that don't even fit your gun.
Yeah, definitely true. That's nice.
I thought that was really cool. One of the reasons I've been back to ABI is just because I'm like so quick to get back into a raid. I'm so quick to kit up. And having those in other games is what needs to happen. So basically that's what they talked about when it went to Believable Foundation. Like their overall theme was that they want to use realism as kind of more of an immersion thing and less like a simulation thing, is how I read that. The next thing they talked about was depth and decision making. So saying loadouts have trade-offs like weight versus power. They showed some movement between a heavier and a light soldier. This is one of the...
Give me 1 second. My cat's fucking with some shit here. Get. No, you get. Go upstairs. Fucking cat. Okay, do you want to start that section over?
Yep. That'll be easy.
Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
Okay, fuck you. Get on here. There we go. Okay. All right, go for it. I'm ready. Sorry.
The second pillar that they talked about was depth and decision making, and I think this is overall the most important one to me. This is what sets this game apart from the others, is adding these layers of decision making to a combined arms all-out warfare type mode. That's why WARDOGS intrigues me, like, overall. So they went into a little bit on how the loadouts have trade-offs, like weight versus power. So like if you have like a lot of heavy equipment, that's great, but you're going to run slower. So they showed some differences between movement of a light and a heavy soldier. They talked about no set roles, how you unlock items based on how you like to play. So you're not necessarily playing into a class. Is that right? From what you played? Like there's no classes.
Yeah, no, none at all. It's all loadout based. Yep.
And then, but there are kind of classes in the sense of you can get gear to play how you want to. If you want to run kind of medic, right, you can run medic stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to be an engineer, you can build stuff like that. Yeah. And you have to balance costs. The thing that was really cool to me that stuck out, what they talked about, was the example of you can spend 3,000 for an RPG and you're kind of betting on yourself. Like if you hit your shot and take down a chopper, you win 10K and you just profited $7,000 from hitting your shot. If you don't, you're out. And that's been like the coolest thing overall, is how you can bet on your performance. They even talked about it when they went into the economy in that one devlog where they went in depth in the metagame. You can even place bets with an odds maker on how well you'll do in the match. Like they gave example, like get 8 or 9 kills on a life or something, and you can pay money and then win money if you pull that off. So that's really cool. And the depth of like, you can play this to go like normally you just want to get a bunch of kills, PTFO, and play it like that, or you can really get into the money aspect and think about risk to rewards if you want to, craft guns. They said you could call stuff in, like you could call a crate in and sell guns to other players. So you can like be an arms dealer and really kind of go after chasing money and stuff like that. So, in your guys' play test, was a lot of that depth there, or was it still just early on and everybody just kind of trying the game out?
Depth, I would say the biggest thing that in terms of a loadout, so we all kind of started with like the starter backpack, starter weapon. The struggle that I had early on was coming from like a Tarkov ABI where you have a backpack and you have this many slots and you can usually get everything that you need. When we play Gray Zone, we're coming in with tourniquets, water, food, all that stuff. In this game, you start with a 6-slot backpack. And
that's like a fanny pack.
A magazine is 2 slots and ammo is a slot. And so for the first like hour or so that I was playing, it was a lot of like, I can't come in with ammo and meds. It's one or the other.
Jeez.
And I didn't like it at first, but then obviously you start to figure out ways you can bring 1 mag instead of 2, and then you can repack your mags in the field so you can bring 2 stacks of ammo, and you start to learn ways to like use that space very wisely. We'll get into some of the other stuff that I know we're going to talk about, but yeah, the depth in the decision making is you're very restricted when you start, and I'm not sure if there's going to be like, as the season progresses and you're coming up against people with bigger backpacks and more loadout, how that balance is going to transfer over. That's one of my biggest concerns that I've brought up to them from my play test is like, it's cool, but what happens halfway through season 1?
Exactly. So that's my question. And I wanted to frame it like this. So Tarkov and that depth and, the extraction shooter thing is kind of the flavor that's being sprinkled into an all-out warfare type game.
Yeah.
Now, that progression, that persistence is what a lot of us are excited for. But if you are hopping into something like Battlefield, that is nice because you can just hop in and play whenever. Like I played the new Gold Mud. I played some Strike Point and stuff like that. And I hadn't played in a month or so, like many people. And you can you can just hop in and play and it's fine. Yeah. And it's nice to not have to worry about progression and playing for thousands of hours. Is that going to be a detriment to this game to people that like that you're maybe not going to be able to just jump in and play some matches? You need to put some time into it to level up and get some persistence, get some money built up and some better loadouts. Are people going to be at a significant disadvantage coming in late to a season?
To your point though, and this is something that just kind of popped in my head when you were saying it, you don't always have to play for the objective. You don't always have to play for kills to get your money up.
That's true.
You can level up by doing other things. And so if you feel like maybe you're at a disadvantage, maybe your play style isn't ready you have to do other things to be able to get your money up, level up, and do all those things before you can actually step into that space later on. Is that going to piss some players off? Of course. Yeah. But I think to their point, and this has been a big part of their marketing, the game isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that plays out.
No, that's really cool. To think about. I didn't even put that together either. You're gonna maybe want to like build some bases or drive a Locky truck or kind of earn your keep before then. Okay, this match I'm gonna go PTFO. Exactly. I'm gonna go killing.
Yep.
So no, that's pretty cool to think, and that's again what gets me excited about this game is putting those elements on top of an all-out war game is just what it boils down to being exciting. The next thing they talked about was player-driven all-out warfare, where they went more into combat and how things unfold within the game. They basically went around to a bunch of different developers and talked to them about how they play the game, how they prefer to build their loadouts and what they like to do. And they gave examples of snipers, people that like to sit back and take long shots that way. They talked about some of them like to be pilots, and I thought this was cool. It gave me another tidbit into the game. They said that you get money when you take players and land safely, but you also get a percentage of the money. Oh, I don't know if you get a cut of their money, but you get a bonus for the objectives that they perform. Since you took them to the hot zone, when they're in there killing, when they're in there capping, you get stuff for that as one of the pilots that took them there. So it's like basically a pyramid scheme. Like we're selling those nutritional shakes. And like, you take them in and then they recruit other people. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's a pyramid scheme, which is fine. And then another one talked about how they like to airdrop and get the tower codes and prepare to call the hot zone. This was one of the shorter pillars in their dev brief, but like really juicy because I feel like it gave us like gameplay details.
So
what kind of play styles did you hit up?
There's 4 towers. I really like the tower gameplay because it's a structure and it's a point on the map that might not be the main objective, and it's stuff that you can still do. You go to the towers, you can capture them, and then once you capture them on the screen, it gives you a digit of a 4-digit code. And so we were playing tower gameplay in our first game, moving around, getting the codes, and then taking over the tower. And then once you type in all 4 numbers, the hot zone that kind of moves around the map that like gives your team double points if you're in it, it comes to the tower. And so we were like structuring and holding down the tower as people, it became an attack and defend mode. And that was really, really cool because the first game we played, we had 3 of the 4 digits. And if you screw up the code 3 times, you're locked out. You can't do it again for like however many minutes. And I ended up guessing the digit.
Oh, sweet.
And everyone's sitting around and we were just like, well, what is it? What is it? And I was just like, fuck it, just do this. Boom, 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 boom. Nailed it. And then everybody around me in the proxy, I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah. And that energy. And then as the hot zone's coming and we were just like, okay, we need to defend. Guys up on the roof with snipers. It was fucking awesome. It was really cool.
That's awesome to hear. And that's kind of the similar stuff they talked about is like when those holy shit moments come together with everybody working together. So they talked about how when that happens, like you can kind of set up a base around a tower and build structures and stuff. And then you're ready. You call in that hot zone. And then, like you said, it's an attack defend. They said you can have armor like rolling up to try to take you out. You can have a team trying to breach the doors, like trying to breach charge and get in. Then you have, you know, maybe the guys that are like last of the Alamo holding the fort down are running out of ammo. So a Logi truck's got to get in somehow. So you got to like get a Logi truck with ammo to come flying in. And some of those moments sound really cool because I have played a little bit of squad and I've had some moments like that with people working together, like a chopper dropping behind enemy lines and listening to your squad leader, like really cool moments like that. Do you think the player freedom in this game to play however you want to is going to lead to more, or are those moments going to be few and far between? Because I think those are going to really help this game out if there are more of these types of moments.
Yeah, I think it's less about the player freedom and more about the fact that every objective in the game is built around those moments, right? You have a very controlled point. You have the hot zone that you're following that's going to drive the PvP, and you have the towers, right? Though, like, and so everything that players are working towards inside that area of operation is all about those moments. Very rarely was there a time where as soon as we got into the hot zone, like shit was crazy. We were having firefights in valleys, shooting up at guys in watchtowers, and like every moment, it was insane. Very, very cool. And also the environments themselves, they designed it very well. It feels like a war zone map. You know how there's just points of interest everywhere that are very different from one another? This game has that. Like it's sick. Yeah.
Do you think this game is going to suffer from map fatigue since there's only one map?
I mean, yeah, probably eventually. I don't know how long it's got, but it's a big map, and then the area of operation changes every match, right? Is that how? I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
That's what they say.
So, yeah, I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say yes, just because I know players and they get fatigued very easily about anything now. So I'll say that's probably going to be a detriment.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about a little bit, but hopefully they're making another one day. Yeah, all that to say, when we talk about the depth in decision making and like how the meta is going to be for making money, and then the player driven all out warfare where people can play literally however they want and stuff, I am still incredibly concerned for balance. Like I just think, and they do have a safety net here, and that is the season structure that they've set up. So at the end of seasons, they said in a previous video that they are going to do essentially a wipe where all the money you have will be turned into gold bars. That's what you'll use to buy like cosmetics and stuff moving forward. So there is going to essentially be a wipe. You know, that might be a good time for other players to hop in and things like that. But I am worried about balance. I am worried about some kind of weird little money glitch happening that could throw off the economy, and something weird being worth too much money and people playing just like super stupid, but just to min-max money.
The one thing that I found just in the playtest, and again, all of this is subject to change, right? You get the spawn trucks. So everybody in the game can spawn in a truck. And so you drive those to the corner of the circle and you just let people spawn and you get money every time they spawn. And it's just an easy way to rack money because everybody, instead of buying a vehicle and doing it themselves, they're just going to go to the map and spawn there because you're right back into the shit. And there's not from what I found, there wasn't a limitation on how many people can spawn there. It's until it gets destroyed. So there was one match where I just drove it to the corner under a bridge where you couldn't really see it. And the whole match, people were just spawning on it. And I was just, you're just running around. And the money was stacking. So there's going to be a lot of balancing things that I think there's going to be a meta. There has to be a meta that's gonna form, and then they're gonna have to balance it, and then there's gonna be a new one, and that's a full-time job for a developer.
And these shitty YouTubers are gonna make videos on how to make money fast.
100%, and I get it. I get it, but it's definitely gonna be a maybe not a problem, but it's definitely gonna be a cause for concern. I think you're right on.
Yeah, and I think we all, as like potential community members and players of this game, just need to go into it knowing that at early access, there's going to be some shit like that, and it's going to be part of the growing pains, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a big part of the challenges of the journey to 1.0 is figuring out how to balance this thing, because as you guys are seeing in these dev briefs, there are a shitload of moving parts going on.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, probably the game I'm most excited about, man, this year is WARDOGS.
Yeah, it's definitely, after playing, my most anticipated. There are some problems. There are some friction. There's some balancing problems, but I think this is going to be one of those games that people play more long-term than what we see with games like, the gray zones and the ground branches and the other like tactical stuff. This game's going to be big.
Having that persistent progression in this type of game is really cool. So while we got you here and we're able to talk to you, let's hit another couple questions. What was something that surprised you the most about the playtest?
Surprised me the most? Performance. Not perfect, and I think people with lower end builds are going to struggle. I was surprised at how good everything ran on Unreal Engine.
Nice. Shout out War Dynamics Engine.
Yeah, no shit. Because that was my number one concern. I know the devs were in there playing with us, and that was their thing too. They just kept asking, how's performance? And like I said, not perfect. There were some hiccups here and there. I had a couple of crashes, but again, it's a play test before an early access release. I'm not concerned about it, but it's running smoother than I thought it was going to.
That's pretty cool. And in this, I guess that does bring up something. In this dev brief, they showed like kind of an Easter egg of a sticky note of builds that they were testing it on, all the way down to like a GTX 1660 they were trying to test this game on. So they're working on that stuff. And they also had an Xbox dev kit there. So we saw that too, which, dude, if this game would get to the console, holy, be a big deal. Be a big deal. What's one thing you would change immediately if you were in charge?
I'll tell you what, the second day I played, I rage quit.
Okay.
Because what happened was we were attacking a tower, and all 4 towers were being controlled by the enemy factions, and they were building super bases. And we're sitting here with 6-slot backpacks. I have to bring ammo. I have to bring a med. I actually don't have enough room for a breaching kit. I can't, a crowbar to pry that. Like, I can't do anything. And the way they built the bases is they could just jump up top, shoot down at you, and you couldn't really see them. And then they would just hop back down. And so it was like they were shooting fish in a bucket trying to get in, and there was nothing we could do because they just kept calling the hot zones to it. So there's the balancing aspect there. I was fucking choked. I was like, I don't even know how this makes it past QA, because
that's even another thing I hadn't thought of. So like when I'm thinking like they're going to have a bitch of a time balancing this thing, I'm thinking money. I'm thinking just like PvP, like shots to kill, armor, ammo, like how that's going to feel and stuff. I didn't even think about what we were talking about earlier when you're like, bro, you call this in, it switches to an attack defend mode. Yeah. Like,
and if you don't have a backpack to be able to bring the right amount of gear to be able to handle that, you're completely froze out of that situation.
Yeah. So not only is this like mechanics of 3 games or 4 games in one, it's like balancing 3 or 4 games in one. Like now it's an attack defend mode. We talk about, Siege in a little bit, like how much goes into balancing that attack and defend game. Like, yeah, man.
I was fucking pissed because like we were just getting shot then, and some of the bases, the way that they're built, the outside walls just have little windows. So trying to get your FPS to like get up and get your gun in to be able to shoot them while they can just sit back and just fire into the circle. So if you pop your head up, you're dead. It was very, I was not happy the second day. And I definitely let them know. I was like, this is shit. And they were just like, yeah, no, for sure. We totally get it. And so we had that conversation. And I don't know, I haven't played since that day, but I hope that things changed.
And that's got to be, we've had some awesome dev interviews too on the show, and like thinking about what's going through their mind while they're watching other people play it. It has to be wild to see, like, from their perspective, they've built the game and there's all these levers to pull, and just see what players do. And it is probably pretty crazy on their end.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Players are going to play. They're going to break things. They're going to figure out the most, like, what was aptitude way to do it, optimal way. And that day they fucking did. It was rough. Starting weapons, they're sniping down on us, and it's just like, okay, well, fuck. So there's a friction that I felt being a starting player with not enough space to do the things I need to do, which is where I think the team aspect comes in. When we were talking on the podcast, the one that's gone, I said the best moments are going to be when you have community servers, everybody's using mics, and everybody can communicate. Because in that moment, I wanted to call people to, okay, we need to start breaching into these super bases and we need to start dismantling them. But nobody's communicating because it's a play test. Nobody cares. But I just know when the game comes out, if you have a team that's able to communicate that probably isn't going to be as big of a problem. But if you're playing on a public server where everyone's just kind of running around doing their own thing, you might be fucked.
Yeah. So. Was there like a, what am I trying to say? Like a VoIP hierarchy with channels, kind of like how squad has the squad leader chat only, and then they propagate the orders down. You know if there were channels like that?
I think there is a squad leader channel. I don't know if it, like, Hell Let Loose has like a commander chat as well. I don't know if it goes that in depth. All I know, like playing as an infantry, we had like our squad chat and our prox chat, and they were on two separate buttons. So I couldn't actually tell you about the hierarchy. Maybe that's something I'll look for next time I play.
Yeah, with that being said, guys, let's head over to the patch notes. I'm not doing finger pistols.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
no, I'm not.
Come on, you have to.
Dude, like, okay, there.
All right, it's time for the patch notes. And today, well, this is actually launching next week. I'm super excited for this one. Rainbow Six. What's the name of this update? System override?
Yeah, system override, because the Doke rework.
Right, yes, which, I mean, finally, Dokkaebi is getting reworked. She's probably still going to be banned quite a bit, but we got a lot of information. The designer notes dropped on the 18th. We have the ranked 3.0 update coming on June 2nd with this huge patch. The big thing here is the Dokkaebi rework. If you guys aren't into Rainbow Six, you know Dokkaebi is somebody who pulls up a cell phone, hacks everybody, makes your cell phone ring, and then if you don't answer it, your cell phone just keeps vibrating, and it just tells the team where you're at. Dokkaebi is being reworked. She's her identity, according to them, has shifted towards global disruption, and now she kind of works like Deimos a little bit, where she has to ping a single person, and if you don't answer the phone when she pings you, your phone blows up.
Yeah, and deals 40 HP damage to you.
Yeah.
Kind of like, never mind. Should we talk? I don't want to get demonetized. There is a real life counterpart that has done this.
Wait, who? Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
we'll save that for a Patreon only episode.
Yeah.
But
we can get into that later.
Yeah. So she basically picks a person. If you don't answer the phone, it blows up. You take 40 HP damage. Fire on the ground around you, so it forces you to move, and you can't use your phone for the rest of the round.
Yeah, because it blew up.
Yeah, because it blew up. So for operators, I think Valkyrie, obviously, like Valk, you can't access your cams. Maestro can't access the cams. It's actually a huge detriment. Echo. But the big thing, I guess, is like it no longer spam targets everybody. You have to be a little bit more precise with who you're going after.
Yeah.
Which I think is fucking awesome.
It's been like a long, painful process for Ubisoft to realize that global abilities that require no risk to operate are annoying.
Yeah.
Because
I will say, you mentioned Lion last time. Lion His ability is okay. It's like it's global, but it lasts like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, but
It's
remember
not
how
even a big
bad it
deal.
was when he was broken?
I don't think I played then.
Oh man. Like in the late 20 teens, they when he first came out and stuff, like it broke Pro League. Like they had to like remove him from Pro League just because like people were hitting it all the time, and it was a scan that would actually like outline you in the wall. Like it would be the outline of the player. It wouldn't just be a ping, and it lasted like a long time, and you would just see the person like wall hack, like moving around.
Wow. No, so, like, I never saw that. That's crazy.
And again, it was one of those things where Lion just hits a button and it happens globally to the entire map, and everybody on the team could see him too. So like it highlighted him for everybody. So like it was the Lion thing. He got nerfed like 4 or 5 times to where he is now. It was a big deal. It took him a long time to do that.
Side note, I mentioned Valk. Valk is my main. I have to give a shout out, Sir Wags a lot. He 3D printed me a Valk cam.
That's insane.
And it looks he took the model from the game and like 3D printed
it. Lights up too, huh? It looks like.
Yeah, I don't know why the thing's not working right now, but I think I might have to screw it in there. But yeah, you can like take it off, and he gave me a couple of different lights that I can like change out. He did a really good job on it.
Dude, that's cool. You got a real black eye. Throw that thing against the wall, see if it sticks.
It will literally disintegrate because it's not glued together yet. So
back to the legs. That's cool, man. That's really sweet.
And then Doke is also getting a new assault rifle, the XK23,
which is good for me because I'm really bad with DMRs. I suck so bad with semi-auto guns and shooter games. So having an AR with the full auto will help me. Quite a bit. That's if you guys don't know, that's the same primary gun that Ryora and Sense have. So you it's not new to the game, but new to her. Dude, for me, the biggest one's rank 3.0. Plain and simple.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Like holy shit.
I'm psyched for ranked 3.0, and I'm also psyched for a new fucking map that I hope is good. Calypso Casino. It looks cool. We watched it on the Forgotten episode. There's a lot of different colorful rooms like poker, blackjack. You can like knock at the end of the trailer. He like knocks him out of the sidewall. I don't know if that's actually a part of the map. I think it will be. The map looks good. Yeah,
I see a little bit of semblance with that in Skyscraper, just how vertical it is and how it's just one building kind of. Hopefully it plays better than Sky.
God, I hope it does.
But I actually, in the meantime, since we lost the episode, I did watch Bikini Body play the test server.
Oh,
I
cool.
watched some actual matches on it. And, dude, I think it's going to be really good. There's a lot of there's a lot of verticality, but there's just a lot that goes into like breaching and stuff, and you have to have like a lot of map control to breach, and like it just seems like a really good siege map. I think some of the people, some of the lead designers on these maps have been with the game the whole time, and I think they're figuring out how to put good maps together finally. So I'm hopeful for Calypso Casino. The setting is sick, like the casino from Vegas is like it's pretty cool. But yeah, rank 3.0, man. No more hidden MMR. Place and matches are back. Wait. Your rank is your rank. What the hell are we doing? Like your rank's not actually your rank. What the fuck is it for then?
How did we get so far off track, dude?
I don't know. I honestly think they really Ubisofted out of their minds right there, and they just wanted to get people to play more, because I think your rank kind of almost a little bit turned into a grind simulator with like, if you just played a lot and kept playing, you could get higher ranks than you probably deserved, because you almost always would, get more rank than you lost. I felt like, and then the other thing is they just wanted that, they said that they wanted that dopamine hit of like, you start at the bottom and you go up, and just to go up through the ranks is what like they wanted people, but it's just so stupid, because like I'll go in to play it. Like I haven't played much these last 2 seasons, but I'll go in as like a copper, and I'm playing against like emeralds and plats and like diamonds and stuff, and it's like, that doesn't feel good, dude. Like I'm a copper, like it says so like why am I I don't know. It was terrible.
And just a couple of things I want to go over here for the squad restrictions. Copper to Emerald can queue with teammates within 3 full ranks of their own rank. Diamond and Champion players are limited to teammates within 2 full ranks. Obviously to keep everything good. I'm just excited to get into for me, the dopamine hit for me was actually doing the placement matches. And then like, okay, I have 10 games. What am I going to get at the end of it's like ripping a big, Pokemon pack. What am I going to get at the end of the placement matches? And if you can get and start off in like silver or even gold, it's like, okay, fuck yeah, we're already off to the races.
Yeah.
That's the dopamine hit for me. I'm super psyched. We have to play together.
We do. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I think they thought maybe this was a thing that people weren't playing ranked because they would get to their rank and then quit because you can only go down. I think that was another thing that they cited in why they went that route.
Yep.
And man, I don't know. Back in ranked 1.0, I would like really take it seriously. I had like a group of 4 guys that we stacked with, and like we'd set aside time to like play. I even had a notebook with some like strats on it and shit. Like
that's crazy
to be able to get, because I'm old, man. I got to use my wits.
Yeah.
So in ranked 1.0, I did get to plat a couple times, and I thought that was pretty cool to get plat in 1.0. And then in 2.0, if I played a season out, I would get to emerald, but it just, I don't know. It seemed weird. I'm just so happy that it's going to be back, and that's what your rank is.
Yep.
Dude, I want to take this moment to pour one out for Ubisoft stock. I saw a tweet. Dude, I saw a tweet. Listen to this, Brian. Listen to this.
Yeah.
From Ash Crypto on X. If you invested $100,000 into Ubisoft 8 years ago, today it would be worth $3,000.
Oh yeah.
97% drop.
Yeah.
Brother.
Oh,
I don't know what they're going to do, man. Like Siege is like one of their only bright spots, I feel like.
It's the only.
It really is at this point.
Yeah. What's another Ubisoft game, like even multiplayer, whatever, that's actually popping right now?
Yeah. I don't know. Which is nutty to me because they have like the best IPs. Like they have access to some of the most sick IPs.
Thank you. I've been saying this for a decade. It makes no sense to me. You know what's crazy? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
What's crazy is like they have those IPs and they haven't thought to like use them. They're just still sucking ass.
You're gonna get me started. You're gonna get me going.
This is
I fucking hate it because Ghost Recon. I grew up with End War, Hawks, fucking Brothers in Arms. Like they have so many IPs that they could just be like leveraging. It doesn't need to be, crazy live service, whatever. You can make smaller games, guys, with these IPs, Splinter Cell, everything. And what's crazy, their stock has dropped, and it dropped the other day, and it was really bad. We still don't even know if they're going to be around for like the Summer Games Fest, like Ubisoft Forward event. This is the 40th anniversary of Ubisoft this year, and we have heard nothing.
Is there an Ubi Forward event?
I don't know. As far as I'm aware, they haven't announced anything. And usually they do by now, because I mean we're usually 2 weeks out. Where are they? What are you guys doing,
dude? I don't know, but the stock did drop to 91 cents.
Yeah.
At one point, dude, Ubisoft is going to be a penny stock. Like that's crazy to me. With what they have, like I don't know. I'm hoping Ghost Recon is good. I kind of thought that they were tanking it on purpose. I had a whole conspiracy theory going to where I thought old buddy Eve was tanking it on purpose. So then it was cheaper that he could buy and make it go back private. And then they start cranking on their IPs that they now own and bought for a cheap price.
Man, I thought about that too.
It crossed my mind.
Yeah. Well, they did just do the merger with Tencent, right? They put that subsidiary out last year. Mm-hmm. And I think that has Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and something else inside of it. So Ubisoft and Tencent have ownership of those, and then Ubisoft has the rest of them. No, I'm blown away that we haven't heard of like an announcement of like a new showcase that's coming. We don't even know what the future is and I don't even know if they do either. It's unfortunate.
Sad, dude. It will suck if Ubisoft, if they close their doors one day and we don't see those anymore. Yep. They have to at least they would never be like completely bankrupt at a loss. They could always sell those IPs, right? Like
I think what they would do is they would start moving more of their IPs to that subsidiary with Tencent to try to save them. But are you doing anything with them? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart as somebody who grew up playing a shit ton of Ubisoft games.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry we got on that tangent, but Yeah, I'm still looking forward to. We've been hearing good things about Ghost Recon, so
Yeah.
from the rumors. So hopefully
Yeah.
Ubisoft can like pull one out of their ass for once in their life and have something decent. Because it's sad, man. I just can't believe it. Especially, man, they do this stuff like, I get me on a tangent now. Hope you're happy.
Sure.
Like canceling Division Heartland so they could put more effort on X Defiant on a Snowdrop engine that's not even meant for a shooter. Like, who makes these decisions?
I don't know. That was another one that was a head scratcher, because
Heartland was like almost done.
And the playtest I played, I actually liked it.
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah. That was a weird one to put more effort into X Defiant.
And it was such a timely game too, because it was a division, which they haven't had one in a long time, and they added the survival elements to it. They added the extraction stuff to it, to where like it was actually like a really good idea, and it played well. And then in my opinion, I played it in like probably one of the cleanest play tests I've ever been pre-release. I didn't have any bugs. It ran great. There was a whole bunch of quests to work through. I put hours into the play test, and then they pulled the plug on it. But like, why would you not just release it if it's that complete? Like, what do you stand to lose? Like they developed it, so didn't they spend the money on it? Like,
maybe they thought the servers and the server cost to keep it up, and they didn't think there was going to be a return. But what blows my mind is, in my brain, then you took those people and you moved them to X Defiant, which everybody was telling you who played it that this game was fucking trash.
Yeah. When you had to delay the game for 2 years just to get the netcode to work.
Yeah.
Which is,
and it still didn't
the main part of the game, and it still felt like shit. And they still had to keep working on the netcode. They could never get the netcode right. One of the basic foundations. And I don't know. I think somebody should write an incredible book about like the fall of Ubisoft one day. Like, there's
if they
so
could
much
get some
there.
internal interviews and actually talk to the people involved, I want to know what's going on. It just sounds so mismanaged.
Yeah, I wonder, is it all the way up to the Yves Guillemot guy that makes these decisions, or is it like a board that hands these terrible decisions down, or like?
Yeah,
I just want to know who it is.
It's a case of them having 16 or 18,000 employees. Imagine having to go through that to get anything done.
Yeah.
Like, you're jumping through hoops.
But at the same time, the decisions coming down from the top about the general direction of the company are trash.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, they've been out of touch for over a decade now, and it's so unfortunate. Rainbow Six Siege, them canceling Patriots to do Siege, they were on the money there, as much as people don't want to admit it. That's when the hero shooter craze came with Overwatch. They were actually ahead of the curve there, and that was the last time they've been ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
You know, that was 2015.
Siege was so awesome at launch too. Like those first trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was awesome. Yeah.
But anyway, and then you get into the whole debate of like, now it's too cartoony for me, but it's also like, dude, if it would have stayed the same, it would have died.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that could be a whole show. But as far sorry for the tangent. As far as the new season of Siege goes, that stuff's all good. And then 3 more maps are getting modernized. You're getting EP, Canal, and Outback are getting that.
Yeah.
And then you get the native mouse and keyboard is coming to console in the mid-season update. And they're doing this is kind of cool. I hadn't seen this before. I found this in the fine print. They're doing a weekly rotating trial operator. So you get a free if you don't have them all unlocked, you can trial out and get a free rotating operator for free on your newer account.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. Gridlock Stingers are getting buffed, and Zophia's getting a speed buff. And I love playing Zofia. Like if I'm just playing like a frag, if I'm playing entry frag, I play Zoph a lot. Her gun is insane. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that, man. It's gonna be great. I hope we can get some Siege going again. As a regular rotation. It's just hard to play for me because I kind of do half-ass take it serious. I know you do too. I think we're pretty similar when we want to go play ranked. It's hard to get the right stack of homies on at the right time. Like a lot of shit has to come together because I would rather slam my dick in a car door than play this game solo. Like,
I agree.
So I want to have my homies with good comms, good vibes, and that's when you can have some of the best times. And like, it's hard to get everybody together like at the same time to play it. It's not something that I can just hop in and play whenever, and I'm not going to play it solo.
No, I'm excited, and I think with rank 3.0, it's going to be even harder to play it solo because I want to progress and I want it to actually matter.
Yeah.
So.
And then how many times are we like, okay, I'm not going to get tilted. I'm going to have fun.
And you get tilted every time.
You get mad. Yeah.
Every time.
How do you not? I don't know how you don't get mad. I don't know. Drugs? I don't know. Maybe.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's coming June 2nd. Are we ready to move on? Next thing?
Yeah. You want to make FPS games great again?
They already are. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah.
Okay.
The merch was out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1047 games of make FPS games great again. Fame. That was last year, right?
That was last year at Summer Games Fest.
Yeah. Almost a year anniversary to that.
Yep.
Whatever that was. Where the guy came on stage, talked shit about FPS games, and then came out with $150, $200 microtransaction bundles, which is exactly what's wrong with FPS games.
Yep.
But they're making another new game, guys. We're going to make it like 3 games in 5 years. So that's better than making one good game, I guess, apparently.
Sure.
Impulse with an E, if you're searching for it. Impulse with an E is coming out on Steam. It's from 1047 Games, so you guys know. It's modeled after another successful game. Splitgate was after Halo. This one's modeled after Titanfall.
Right.
So not only do they just crank games out at a frantic pace, they also kind of not copy, but take heavy inspiration from fan favorites.
I like the idea of taking inspiration from older IPs and games that aren't being serviced to the community. Right. When Splitgate came out, Halo was in the shits.
Still is.
Bungie, it still is. We haven't seen a new Titanfall game in a decade. So I like the idea of wanting to fill that void, and you want the games that you grew up playing or whatever. What do you think about Empulse? It's an upcoming fast-paced 6v6 movement shooter. You're a Titanfall guy. You played it a lot. Titanfall 2 anyway. What do you think?
I can already tell just from the gameplay might be good, but just looking at it, Titanfall had it was futuristic, but it was still gritty and grounded. You could put your mind on a timeline to get to where that was believable.
Yes,
if we're in space and we're fighting with mechs, things are going to look shitty. There's going to be motor oil everywhere. Not like steampunk, but like an industrial feel to it is what I would say. This one's doing the Concord thing, kind of like it's slipping over into that upbeat, brightly colored, generic futuristic shooter that we've seen in what do you mean like High Guard, Concord,
X Defiant.
Yeah, the X Defiant thing, like the bright futuristic. I mean, kind of Valorant, they do
a little bit of finals in there too, for sure.
The verticality of the maps look kind of finals but it's just it's not how I would prefer a Titanfall, not necessarily successor, but like an inspired game,
a spiritual successor.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not how I would prefer it to look. The Titans all look kind of in these screenshots on Steam. So that's another thing. You guys can see this on Steam. The Steam page went live for Impulse with an E. And that makes us think we're going to be hearing about it at Summer Game Fest. That Ding Dong's probably going to get on stage again with Jeff. And
wearing an I'm sorry t-shirt.
Yeah, baby.
For Splitgate.
Oh. He should have some kind of Titanfall 3 t-shirt on or something, but
he should. Yeah.
It looks too clean. It looks cartoony for my preference, but maybe the gameplay is good. It shows grapples. It shows the mechs, and it shows futuristic stuff. I'm just weirded out by this studio, man. There was no reason to make a Splitgate 2, in my opinion. I agree. Was there a need for that? Was there people clamoring for Splitgate 2?
I think the big thing is they wanted to remake it on an upgraded engine, an updated code base, so that it's not spaghetti code, right? But why?
Yeah, that's it. The player base wasn't there, from the first one.
Well, there was a moment in time where Splitgate, the first one, went viral. Everybody was covering it. Everybody was playing it. Their player numbers went up, and that's when they got the investment, the $100 million investment. And then they did Splitgate 2, which at the current moment, it's now rebranded to Arena Reloaded, and it's got 525 people in game.
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but the thing is it all-time peaked at 25,000. those are good numbers. But like, were they numbers enough to warrant investing that much time and effort and drama and bullshit into a sequel? For what?
Yeah. Well, I have more high level questions like that too. It's like, instead of making 3 games in a couple 5 years or whatever, would it serve them better to make like one good one and support the shit out of it? That was my question. It just seems like, man, they're cranking games out, dude.
Yeah. I think the multiplayer space is very risky. And if you, again, we had this conversation kind of, if you put $100 million into a game and it fails, you're fucked.
Yeah. I wanted you to explain this again, is why I went, because it was cool.
Yeah. If you put $100 million into 4 games and one of them goes viral and one of them is good and people play the shit out of it, you make all your money back and then some. Yeah. Right. And so it's honestly, a lot of companies are doing this. I don't think 1047 Games is at the level of somebody like a Tencent. Think of what Tencent is doing with what genre are we calling the paranormal shooter, right? Yeah. They're throwing money at a bunch of different projects and hoping one of them blows the fuck up and sticks. And that's what these guys, I think, are doing. Now, here's the thing too. I think it is cool that they're throwing money at projects that they are clearly passionate about. I can't look at Splitgate and say that it was soulless. Those guys clearly loved Halo. And I think they definitely love Titanfall. I just don't think they have the brain power to understand what kind of visual aesthetic and what kind of vibe people want these games to be in.
Yeah. And I mentioned it before, like, yeah, I think so. I think they're off on the setting of it. I think there probably will be some holes to be poked in it as far as depth of content. I just think if you're the size of 1047 Studios and you're putting out this many games, you're not going to be able to fully. I'm just saying, like, maps, guns. There's probably not going to be a ton of content there. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, what you said really opened my eyes, and I wanted you to touch on that again, is because in my head, just like thinking what I think's rationally, I'm like, why would you not just put your effort into like one good game and give yourself the best shot? You're saying some of these lightning in a bottle moments could be easily more obtained by casting a wider net, kind of diversifying their resources into more games.
Yeah, because I mean, realistic. Well, let me ask you this: how much do you think they built Splitgate 2 for?
Oh, geez, I would have no idea. Like,
not 100 million.
No,
right?
No, I would think a couple million, right? Like, I don't know.
Right. Like how often, like what's the last multiplayer shooter that you think cost over $100 million to develop that came out?
Battlefield.
And that's massive.
Yeah.
That's an IP of 20 years. 1047 Games doesn't have that option, right? That being said, 1047, I just looked up, they have 150 people on development or like at their company. I didn't realize they were actually that big. That's still pretty small scale, but yeah, so I think they're trying to do what EA was doing, 20 years ago. Medal of Honor, Battlefield, we're hitting this, we're doing this. We're doing a bunch of different projects and we're trying to establish an IP that people love, right? And then I think that's fair.
And so like what you said, you touched on Tencent with the paranormal extraction shooters. I wanted to look those up and remember those. So you have Rules of Engagement, the Gray State. You have Project Spectrum, which is from Team Jade and the Delta Force devs. And then you have Crafton making the Black Budget. So all these are those, along with like Beautiful Light and the other ones that are kind of doing that too. But like, yeah, Tencent has like 3 or 4 paranormal extraction shooters that they're coming out with to like do what you're saying. So I don't know. With Empulse, I think we'll know a little bit more about it after Summer Game Fest in a week or two. But yeah, man, I'm just like, this feels, and I hope I'm wrong, this just feels like one of those games that's just, it's not going to work out. Like we see these car wrecks in slow motion sometimes. Like we talked about X Defiant. We all kind of knew. Splitgate 2, we all kind of knew. Like it just doesn't feel good. High Guard, I mean, some of us knew. Some of us vehemently defended it on social media, but didn't play it. That was so fun. And we've just seen these things, and this feels like another one, because I hope I'm wrong. Because believe it or not, guys, I like to talk about FPS games. I like to play a lot of different ones, and I want to see them succeed. I want to have more diversified experiences for us to play and check out. And I'm not a one-trick pony when it comes to FPS games. I always have like a rotation, and that's why I love doing, podcasts and stuff, because we can talk about a wide variety of them and not get hammered by the algorithm. I love FPS games, and I want to see them succeed. But this one just is kind of, it doesn't look quite right to me.
Yeah. I'm also seeing, hold on. I'll have to look this up. I'm seeing that Empulse is also, or 1047 also partnered with a crypto company.
For this game, you think, or just in general? Like it's going to be. Yeah.
I got to look it out. I'm just seeing people mention it. I opened up their community hub on Steam to see what the players were kind of saying.
On Impulse?
And yeah, on Impulse. And there are people saying, like, why didn't you do the realistic, gritty multiplayer experience like we've been saying? But I'm also seeing mentions of, like, them tied to a crypto company. But I don't want to put that out there. I got to look into it more. But,
sure. Are you looking at it right now? Because the one thing I will say, like, on this, that I could see helping this game a lot is if it had a really cool ranked mode. I think if it had like a really good like rank, and then we don't know, really anything on the depth of it, how like the weapons are going to be, are there going to be classes, like how the mechs are going to be balanced, like what that would look like. There could be a lot of depth to this game that could lend itself to a really cool ranked experience, and that might get people to stick around. I feel like if you have a good ranked with a pretty deep gameplay experience and like a lot of rewards and stuff and a lot of good seasons and updated content, it might be all right with that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not opposed to the gameplay. I really do want a Titanfall experience, so I don't want to write it off yet. It's just these guys aren't batting very high for me right now, and I think for you too.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Speaking of somebody who is batting high, I think that's a good transition into Tarkov TV. Now, I'm not the Tarkov guy in the podcast.
I'm not either.
Well, you're more of a Tarkov guy than I am.
Well, just because they piss me off. That's why I keep up on it. No, man, Tarkov TV is crazy, and I'm going to try to be a little bit unbiased with this, but I am still salty about the Unheard Edition thing. So I'm going to talk about a lot of that stuff with it comes to this. So Tarkov TV did an episode a while back. Even since then, since we lost the episode, they have posted, dude, Icebreaker's coming out tomorrow at the time of recording this, the new map, the Icebreaker map. So there's a big update coming tomorrow. They haven't really talked about what else there's going to be. From the trailer, it looks like there's a new boss on there. So if you are a fan of Tarkov, I think you're going to be eating good. I think the fear I had and a lot of people had was, it seems like Nikita's moved on to Fragmentary Order, the new space game that we talked about a couple episodes back. And it kind of feels like Tarkov could have got left out in the cold, but that's not happening. They talked about a lot of stuff. They're going to do a new cadence with updates with seasons and their seasonal character. They're going to try to take on a more like RPG style thing where you can get different trade-offs with different skills. Some of them sounded pretty crazy, but they're going to take some liberties with the game within these seasons to make it play and act completely different. You still have your other perpetual characters and all that kind of stuff. But then the Icebreaker map, the new boat map, is coming out tomorrow, so that's going to be crazy to see. I didn't get a look into it yet. Maybe this will be a sleeper hit on the next show. They talked about some of the new modes and maps that are be coming to Tarkov Arena. But one of the things that did piss me off was they continue to foster this kind of culture that the Unheard Edition people are like a super cool club and they're so thankful for them. And honestly, man, as someone who spent $150 on an early access game that had like 3 or 4 maps, like I bought it pretty early on, it's really kind of a slap in the face, because whenever we bought the Unheard Edition, it said, and it didn't explicitly say it, but like every other game that's done anything like this, like the Founders Edition and Gray Zone or any of these higher tier editions, they appreciate you for supporting them early on, and you stay like the top tier experience for spending $150 on a very early access game. And it just sucks that they kind of did the rug pull with the Unheard Edition. And then you guys remember the controversy with that when they said they weren't getting single player Tarkov, and they get a bunch of better stuff when it comes to the Unheard Edition, when you start the game and everything like that. But what they're doing now is they're giving all the editions kind of a XP boost. Unheard Edition gets a 20% XP boost, which is a lot. EOD only gets a 12, so almost half. The other social engineering thing that they're doing to get people to buy this, and some of the scummy stuff that they do when it comes to this, is if you have one person with Unheard Edition in your friend group, everybody gets the 20 XP. So what that's going to do is if there is a friend group of like 4 guys that like to play Tarkov all the time, there's going to be insane peer pressure for at least one of them to upgrade and get the Unheard Edition and kind of get people into buying that. The other thing that makes no sense to me is if you buy the Unheard Edition, you are able to wear either kind of cosmetic. You can, if you're USEC, you can wear USEC and bear stuff. But, you know, in a game where Nikita promised no microtransactions, there is now a website where you can go use Tarcoins to buy skins, which, you know, I mean, single player Tarkov might not be DLC if you're talking about EOD, but it sure seems like those are microtransactions, bud. Which is fine. It just how unapologetically they lie, I guess. I mean, for lack of a better word. It's really annoying. And so you can do that, which I don't get, because that's not even really a money-making thing, because you could think if everybody could wear those, like more people would buy them. But I don't understand it, more so as it is of like showing favoritism to the Unheard Edition.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to boost that up as much as possible so that more people incentivized to spend $250. Right?
Entice people to buy $250 because $150 wasn't enough. So I don't know, man. Just the stuff they do when it comes to that is really frustrating. Some of the things that they lock behind, you know, getting people kind of shoehorned into playing arena to unlock stuff for the main game, like how they did. It's not as bad this season as it was last season. I think with the stuff, you could get some really meta stuff early from Ref. The Ref Trader, if you played a lot of arena, so trying to get people to play arena is weird. But getting around all that, if you are somebody that likes Tarkov, you're in pretty good shape, because they're calling this essentially like a road to Tarkov 2.0. So there's a lot of updates and a lot of changes and a lot of content still coming to the game. So they're it's a good thing that they're going to continue to do that. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's still really frustrating to me, and I'm not going to play it, but it's there.
I'm not going to play it either. This decision really pisses me off, turned me off the game completely.
The Unheard thing is the last time I played it. I tweeted back then. I said I escaped Tarkov, and it showed me uninstalling it. Yeah. And then some guy said, "You'll be back." I'm going to go find that tweet and just like follow up with him and say, still not back, bud. It's been a couple years. It frustrated me a lot, but I recognize the significance of that game, what it did for the FPS space as a whole. And just, it still is, like, with all the bugs, all the terrible balancing decisions, all the weird mechanics they've had in the game, it's still like a big deal for shooters. Like, it changed things. It's ushered in a whole new genre. And
it's crazy. Cool. Like, they still have a fan base that's fucking like rabid for it.
I'm gonna hear from them.
Oh yeah,
100%. I've been getting some comments on this podcast and on the Scope on Spotify about people are sick and tired of the Nikita hate.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's tough because, like, I know when he says, like, there's not going to be microtransactions, then there's microtransactions, he lied. But I also understand that, like, development isn't linear. You know, things happen, and eventually, you know, that $150 that somebody spent, or a bunch of people spent back in 2017, 2016, eventually that's going to run a little bit low as things develop and your team gets bigger, and so you need recurring revenue, you know. And so I can't even I hate it because I don't ever want to justify greedy microtransactions, and I don't know if this is greedy or not. I genuinely don't give a shit about Tarkov, but, like, they're becoming a necessary evil for long-term live service development. And I think just seeing how this has gone, you can see that they need more money. Clearly, everything that they're doing is money-driven now. If people don't like that, then, like, the real answer is just don't play it. Don't bitch about it and then play it. You know what I mean? And like, to your point, you haven't played it in fucking years because you didn't like what the Unheard Edition did. I didn't like the game fucking for years before that. You know, just don't play it. Like, just other shit. There's so many other games now that you can play that are fucking awesome. They might not be Tarkov, but, like, you know, it is what it is. I just don't care.
I get people that enjoy it. I don't get people that are in, like, a Nikita fan club and try to defend him online. Because he's made some shitty decisions and he's made a lot of money.
True.
But that's what it is. If you're a Tarkov fan, you're going to be eating good. With that
Good luck, guys.
we're going to move to the next segment here. And
Sure.
you're going to see that it's called the sleeper hits. In just a minute, there's going to be a really cool song that plays and stuff come across the screen. But just don't be sad. There are a lot of good, you think sleeper hits, there's probably not much to talk about. This next segment is stacked out of its mind. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to break it down. It's good stuff. Let's go to the sleeper hits. Guys, welcome into the sleeper hits. This is the part of the program where we go into a little bit more bite-sized details, but like I said, there's a ton of them. We got a lot to get into. The first one makes no sense to me at all, so I'm kicking it over to Fry. Kick it away, Fry.
So I've been playing a lot of this game that just came out. You guys might have heard of it in the indie space called Subnautica 2. It's a sequel to, I think, an award-winning, one of the biggest indie games of all time. Subnautica 2 just came out the other day. It is sold at the time of this article, which was 4 days ago. It's probably more than that now. 4 million copies sold and over $100 million in revenue in just under a week. Subnautica 2, 35% of the players also played the first Subnautica. $2.4 million players on Game Pass. The game is blowing up on consoles. It hasn't even launched on PS5 yet. I think that's coming once the game is out of early access. This is insane. The game is all about diving. It's a survival game where you play underwater. You're diving down, you're collecting resources, you're dodging crazy fish and other underwater entities. You're building these tadpoles to go exploring under into the deep blue. And it's been really, really fun. It's very chill. It's got a nice vibe until it doesn't when you're being pulled under by a Leviathan. And I've been playing it a lot. We've been playing 3-player co-op. And I just wanted to shout it out because it's actually been a nice change of pace from all of the shooters that we've been playing and talking about. It's very, very cool. And I urge everybody to try it because it's fucking awesome.
I just have to smile and nod.
Yep. That's cool. It's Crash's third-person shooter. Just smile and nod.
Blue, shut up. Blue told me about some controversy though on our other show.
Go ahead.
What about the end user license agreement that says you only get a revocable license? You don't own the game, and you can't.
Isn't that with every Steam copy?
You can't use a VPN.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
You can get banned for using a VPN. It says in the EULA.
I'm sure the EULA says it. Have they banned anybody for doing it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
And then what about the no violence controversy? You can't kill fish and stuff. They want it to be a non-violent, happy place.
I think the first game was like that too, though.
Okay,
right?
All right. Yeah, I'm blinding them up. You're knocking them down. Okay. What about?
That feels like a controversy for the sake of just needing something to talk about. Personally,
yeah, but I mean, they did have weird stuff in the EULA. It also talked about like restrictions on mods and like content and stuff. Like they could pull any content down. And
interesting.
Yeah, there's weird stuff in there. You just
I'll
signed
have to look into
you?
that.
You probably just signed over your whole channel. It's owned by Crafton now.
Yeah, I'm sure. The big controversy that I think should be talked about is the fact that the CEO of Crafton was trying to figure out a way. Basically, in the contract for Subnautica, when they published it, they said, like, if this game hits a certain number of sales, certain number of players, whatever, all the developers would get a nice bonus. And I think the bonus was $100 million. The CEO of Crafton in Discovery in court was found out to be asking ChatGPT how to fuck his employees out of paying that money, how to basically tank the product so that they didn't have to pay it. And everybody found out about it. And of course, as I said at the beginning of this segment, Subnautica 2 made $100 million revenue in just under a week. So all those developers are getting a massive bonus because of this. And
rightfully so.
Rightfully so. I mean, fuck that asshole. But yeah, no, I think in terms of the controversy stuff, I'm not really well versed on it. If there's anything in an EULA that people don't like, don't sign it, and or try to look around and see if there's been any actionable stuff. If they're talking about like no mods or anything like that, are they actively cease and desisting people? Are they striking content? If they are, that's a problem. But I think a lot of EULAs have this kind of language in it. Maybe not all of them, But if it's just a generic EULA and they're not actually taking action against anybody, who gives a shit? Play it. The game is fucking cool. That's just my opinion. But
the next one is interesting to me a lot. I didn't know about this until you put it in here and I looked at it.
Yeah.
How do you say that? Zero Sivert?
Sivert, yeah.
Sivert?
I think so. That's how I say it.
Okay, I'll go with that and tell someone in the comments. Guys, if you have complaints about the show, please send them to the complaint department at thepushtotalkpodcast.com. We'll read them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we'll take action on those. So there's a new game that I don't know if I would ever play it, but I kind of want to now because it looks so damn cool. Like the style of it is so cool, man. It's like a 2.5D kind of thing?
Yeah,
like a
2.5D isometric, yeah.
Called Zero Sivert 2. Did you play the first one?
I played the demo of the first one. I never actually got the game when it launched. I actually didn't know it launched, to be honest. And then I saw the sequel. Oh, shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wishlist this actually.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this because you say you won't play it. It's a PvE extraction shooter, co-op. It's like Stalker, Tarkov-y, but it's top-down isometric. Is it the viewpoint that throws you off?
I think it's the fact that I've just never gotten into any isometric type game or anything like this.
Okay.
I guess the closest thing, I tried to get into MMOs by playing New World, and we all see what happened in New World.
Fair enough.
But I did enjoy that. So I've been kind of looking for that kind of like chill, maybe like a more chill experience, less competitive kind of being like in this view. And the way they did it, like in this game, is just so interesting because the characters themselves are all almost kind of like Borderlands cell shaded looking. But then the map itself is like really high fidelity and like super sharp. And then they did kind of like a tilt shift thing with the blur to make it just looks really interesting. Like the overall art style looks really cool.
Yeah, the vibe is immaculate. The player characters remind me of like old Flash games on like mini clip. And I love that style.
Just that combination of like the cartoony characters, but then like the hyper realistic like vegetation and stuff. It just looks neat.
Yeah, and as you guys can see from the trailer too, there's weapon customization. There's like a base building, like setting up your HQ, very similar to games like Black Budget or Incursion Red River. And the fact that it's co-op is what's really selling me on it. And I think a big point of this, when you look at like their announcement, is like the co-op sequel, Sivert 2. That excites me that they're really wanting to go into, because like you said, it's a very chill game. It's not as competitive, and you can just log in and play with your friends. And I think that's really, really cool.
And depending on how the base building and stuff goes, I feel like that's probably one of your guys' draws to like the recent pirate game and like whatever the hell that was.
Windrose,
that one. And then the Subnautica and all that stuff, like, is the base building and working together. And if they can have that in this kind of interesting setting, it might be pretty neat.
Brother, I got to get you off of Search and Destroy and Strike Point. We got to get you playing other
like, it's going to happen. I'm almost 40. So, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, whenever it's gone, like, what little bit of reaction time I have, I'm using in the meantime.
Sure.
So I'm playing competitive shooters while I still can. But in a year now, it's going to be gone, and I'm going to have to play like shitty little games like this. So,
whoa, shitty little games, he says. That's crazy. Guys, sleeper hits. These, not shitty little games.
No, they're pretty cool. It does. I'm telling you. I want to try it. I do.
Hell yeah.
The art style is, I commend them greatly on it. It just is like a cool blend of different things.
Yeah. Well, this next game I think you're going to try, right?
Yeah, unless it releases too early. Guys,
Hell Let Loose.
Guys. Hell Let Loose Vietnam. Vietnam. It's going to be released in a date.
June 18th.
Which is not that far off.
No.
How have the playtests been going, bud?
I can't talk about that yet. NDAs and embargoes.
Okay. Same, but not really. I haven't played it at all. But you made a video about it.
I made a video. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well then hey guys, I've played the game, but I can't talk about it yet. The play tests that happened a few weeks ago that people were able to talk about.
Yeah.
Apparently it didn't go well at all. Performance issues. The big thing that people were really excited about with Hell Let Loose Vietnam is the new tunnel system. If you guys have played Hell Let Loose, they have like the ability to place like garrisons and outposts and stuff like that. In Hell Let Loose Vietnam, apparently they're not actual tunnels that you can traverse, as in like a Rising Storm 2. They're just a fast travel. And a lot of people were really upset about that. And just apparently, you know, a lot of bugs, a lot of issues that people were running into from like server performance, tick rate, and then just the optimization of the game was just not good at all. Now the game is launching everywhere, June 18th, Steam, Epic, PlayStation, Xbox, and it's not launching into early access, which I think is the big controversy too, is like, if it was, I think people could kind of, you know, give some leeway to some of this shit, but like full release, and a month ago it played like shit, apparently. So
yeah. I will say some very important information for people. Sure. There's an open beta coming up. So May 29th, you guys can play it. So I would highly recommend. It's a little weird how you have to do it. You can register for the open beta via First Look. So there's a website. You have to link your Discord, you have to link your Steam, and you have to link maybe an email, but you could get access to it. So from the Steam page, if you scroll down, there is an open beta. You also get a 10% discount if you pre-purchase it. So a tiny little discount if you pre-order. But I would encourage everyone, given the kind of cautionary tales we've heard from some of these playtests, check it out for yourself. Sign up for that open beta and play it yourself. So I think that's a really cool opportunity to be able to check it out and see if it's worth your money before you actually have to spend money on it.
Absolutely.
So it's cool. It's cool that they're doing that. Like they're letting people check it out.
In my opinion, this is one of the most important open play tests that you can play, because this is a highly anticipated shooter. And a lot of people are going in with a lot of hype and a lot of expectation that it's going to be at the same level as Hell Let Loose. Play the open play test. Judge it for yourself, because it's not a play test where you're going to be giving them feedback and they're going to be working on it for months on end. This is literally a demo. You have a couple of weeks after this test, and then the game is out. So play it and judge it for yourself and decide if it's worth the purchase. Yeah.
That's the main thing I wanted to say.
Yeah. No, it's important.
The next one is Gray Zone Warfare got a little bit of an update. It's not a big one. That's kind of why it's in the sleeper hits. The game is one of the main ones we talk about, but however, this update is kind of on the smaller side. So that's why we put it here. They just basically added a HUD widget for player visibility. They made nighttime darker as well. They made some new fixes and tweaks to the AI behavior, which I'm always interested to see how that's going, because that's kind of an iterative long-term process to get AI in a better spot. And then they took out essentially, and there was some confusion here, especially within my community. They didn't come up with, some of the wording made it sound like they came up with new long-term contracts. They really didn't. They took those long-term contracts, which are the like find items around the map, the not kind of time sensitive ones where you just find stuff, and they separated those out on the map UI.
Okay, cool.
So now the long-term contracts are in a different spot when you go to look at your map, which I think is awesome. And I think it's a first step in the right direction. We talked about it in a few episodes ago when we kind of gave our take on the whole, the update 0.4, where that was one of our big things, is like organizing these tasks a lot better, where you can find and search and see at a glance where you're at, what you want to do, find the ones you want to do. This seems like a small step in that direction, pulling those out, put them in their own place. And hopefully in future updates, they continue to flesh out that squad system. Because like we said, having them on the map is awesome. But being able to like sort, filter, and search those would be super sick. So it's kind of like a step in that direction. So
yeah, no, I totally agree. That's sweet, actually. Very cool.
A small little update.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the biggest news, the biggest game on the show for like multiple episodes in a row. Your favorite game of all time.
Yeah. And what's really cool too is we got some more information since we lost the last show. So this is cool.
Cool.
Way of the Hunter 2, my laughable guilty pleasure of a game that I really like to play. They got a new little update, 0.1.1. It is still very early in this game, but they added the Bergara B14 HMR. That's a 6.5 Creedmoor rifle. And along with that comes a new weapon. And also the Bushnell Engage 3 to 9x40 scope, which pairs well with the Bergara rifle. I'm looking at a Bergara rifle in real life. I kind of want a 300 PRC in Bergara. It's like probably going to be my next rifle I buy.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. And yeah, there's a ton of like little fixes and things with this game. I like this update because it's cool. You know, we've talked about like a lot of immersion and stuff. It's really cool that they're working with real life companies and putting like real guns and stuff in the game. It's just like, it's not like game breaking or anything, like to not have that, but it just adds a lot of cool flavor. Like that's an actual firearm with a like a Leupold scope on it that you could have and you would use for this kind of stuff. The other thing is they're now teasing the next new map, the update 2, which is a big update. Okay. And it shows a post on X with a hippo in a river, and it says, what is this, a male or female hippo? So we can see that the next big update is going to be going to Africa. So that's cool. So Africa, big game, dangerous game, is coming to Way of the Hunter 2. The first map, I played a fair amount of this on stream. The first map, I haven't even explored all of it yet. It's huge. And so I'm assuming like the next one is going to be this size too. So I was going to try to look. I looked yesterday on how big it was. I was going to try to find that like how big that map was, because it's huge. It's like this size.
I remember you showing me the map. And it was massive.
I'm gonna Google it real quick. But anyway, I'm guessing that those DLCs cost money because they did in the other one. I'm gonna search this real quick because it told me yesterday and it was huge. I gotta find this. And I'm hoping like all the maps are gonna be this big because, like I said, I still haven't explored the entire one that's in there now. And that's going to be like a big change in biome too, with a ton of different stuff too. Yeah. It is going to be sweet. So again, this game is kind of silly. It's kind of a silly little game and not many people are playing it or whatever, but I've just been having a great time and it is gorgeous. Like it is beautiful. In like UE5. So this map in there now, it's 10 kilometers by 10 kilometers. So 100. Oh, wow. It's 100 square kilometers in like real life distance, 38.6 square miles in freedom units.
Holy shit.
So, and it's inspired by the Canadian wilderness. So that's like the forest, lakes, mountains, and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's like almost the size of like New York City, I think was one thing it said. So it's like, it's big. And so they're coming out with a new map already. They're staying right along with their roadmap that they had, which means eventually co-op's going to be coming. The persistent custom servers are going to be coming where you guys can kind of, how do I say it? Like manage the wildlife. So like you can tend to the land, you can plant food plots, you can clean up the water, and you can grow bigger trophies. And that's stuff's going to be persistent, like keep carrying on even when you're not logged in.
I'm reading in the responses to this update, one of the developers confirmed that this is a free update. So you're not going to have to pay for this map.
Really?
Yep. Because somebody said, I swear to God, I've had to pay for this damn map. And they said, no need to worry. It's a free update. So that's cool.
Dude, everybody go buy the game. No, I'm kidding. But that's pretty cool because there are other ones. It was kind of one of those games. Like, I feel like a lot of simulator games, ATS does this too. Like every DLC is like a little bit of money, which I don't hate because like, it keeps us, it just seems like a straight up transaction to me. Like I'm paying you for content. You make the content, 100%. I pay for it. It's my content. And we go on with our lives. So
100%. Yep.
But
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for when it gets co-op. The moment you let me know there's co-op is the moment I'm going to be jumping in hardcore.
Yeah. We're going to go drive around. It looks cool. We'll take my Toyota Tundra. We'll go drive around, find some good stuff. I'll try to get some Big M Moose growing up for you.
Hell yeah.
And then go slam one.
Fuck yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. And then the last bit of news here was actually just announced literally today. Unreal Engine 6 has been officially announced / teased / revealed with a new logo that is very reminiscent of old school Unreal Engine tech, which I'm actually kind of psyched for.
And the first kind of gameplay stuff that we got to see was they did Rocket League. So they showed a trailer of Rocket League in UE6.
Yeah.
And of course it looked amazing.
Surprised. It did look amazing. I was surprised that Rocket League was like how they would kind of reveal the Unreal Engine tech, but it's crazy because 5.8 is still like they're teasing it. It's coming out in June. And I guess we're getting to the end of the road with Unreal Engine 5. It feels like we just got here, you know?
Yeah, it still feels like UE5 hasn't been used to like its full potential yet, and we're already moving on. So I don't know.
Yep,
I can't
agree.
I can't pretend to have an educated opinion on this because I really don't know much about engines and things like that. But the feeling I get is like UE5 is kind of notoriously tough to work with in shooter space. I hope 6 is better, but I doubt it. I feel like they're just going to continue to chase like ultra high realism. We're probably still going to be doing AI upscaling and frame gen like out of its ass. And
what I'm scared about is that Unreal Engine 6 relies heavily on like custom AI tools. And there's going to be a lot of like, this is the shift from Epic going to leaning hard into AI, because like, to your point, every developer that we've talked to that is using Unreal Engine 5 is having to build their own custom frameworks to allow the engine to actually do what they need to do. It hasn't lived up to its full potential. There's still major performance issues across multiple games. And it just feels like we're just like, okay, fuck that. We're moving on to the next one. And what does that mean? So there's a lot of implications of what this could potentially mean. And I'm nervous about the future because that's not going to be good if they lean into AI, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I think that's one of the reasons that I've been going back to play ABI is it's still on UE4.
And UE4 is incredible.
And it has, like I've said before, it has 60 hertz servers. So the gunfights feel awesome. And I am playing 1440p with everything maxed out. It's not like insane like Way of the Hunter 2, but it looks great.
Sure.
And I'm just sitting at 250 frames locked in.
Yeah.
And it's buttery smooth, and it's not
now
upscaled.
when it comes to like the server stuff and the tick rates, that's all their custom network stack. But like to your point, the performance, the graphic quality, Unreal Engine 4 is still a phenomenal engine. And I think people really bought into the Unreal Engine 5 hype when they announced it. Lumen, Nanite, all this. And I remember when we announced Transients, people were like, why the fuck aren't you guys using Unreal Engine 5? And now it looks like we're nearing the end of the engine's life cycle. And people are like, they're shitting all over it. They like, what's next? What's alternatives? What's the best way to get Unreal Engine 5 performing? Like, it was not a great cycle of engine tooling for developers. So
yeah, because I mean, we've seen like, but really the only studio I feel like that got like just killed it with UE5 was like Embark.
Yep.
With Finals and with Arc Raiders.
Yep. I would love to see their custom tool set because holy shit.
Yeah. Greyzone had to run Scala on top of it for their vegetation. And we've heard that WARDOGS is running that War Dynamics engine on top. A lot of people had to make proprietary tools to get it to work for shooters.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe the Unreal, the people at Epic, like they maybe put some tools in there for FPS devs that make it work better for FPS, or if they're just going far into like just crazy realism, AI upscaling, range.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. I did have another one that's not on the notes. I was going to tell you about. They just teased for Incursion Red Rivers getting a big new map.
Yes.
So that is pretty cool. Going to be like later on, probably like I think they said this fall.
Okay.
So
cool.
With that is like it's going to be like it looked like a more modern map with like buildings and like urban style combat, like a definite like vibe shift from the jungle that they've had in there. A lot of new guns too. A lot of updates just around the board. They're even redoing some of the routes
AKs?
On the other maps. Yeah, probably minimum.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. We need more AKs. The other thing that I wondered if you wanted to talk about is, dude, what the hell's going to happen to Bungie? So they, like we talked about Ubisoft, but like,
yeah, you're not wrong.
Do you feel like Ubisoft and Bungie are just like a race to the bottom right now, man? Because they announced that Destiny 2's done and they're going to lay off a bunch of people and move people to Marathon.
Yes. And also they're incubating new projects is what they said.
Are they?
That's what they said in the announcement, that they're working on new games and they're incubating them right now, which basically it means they're concepting, like they haven't even started anything.
Yeah.
But from what I also understand, those new games, none of them are Destiny 3. They're not making Destiny 3. I think that franchise has been shelved.
Yep. So
which is crazy.
You're a Destiny fan. Ouch. Right now.
Yeah.
And they said Sony lost $765 million on its Bungie deal total.
Yep.
So since they put in 3.6 billion in 2022, with the marathon flop in Destiny 2, like they were betting big. I feel like they were betting big on like marathon.
Oh yeah, big time. Yep.
Didn't happen.
Did not work out. Well, and so that what was it, 765?
Dude, that's a wasp.
Okay, I thought I saw something flying in the background.
Dude,
bro, I hate wasps and bees so fucking much. Dude,
I gotta kill this thing.
Oh, get it.
Dude, he's on the. Hold on, he's landing.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna take a little breather.
Headwear. Dude, he's down, but I don't know if he's out.
Well, let him struggle a little bit.
I don't want him sneaking up on me, dude. He might like crawl out from underneath my shelf and like.
I hate you.
I get my 45 off the wall. He's reaching. Like he might. I don't know. Sorry, I can't have one of those flying terrorists around in here.
Yeah, no, fuck those things, man.
They're horrific. Anyway, Bungie's doing about as good as that wasp is right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like, you were Sony in that situation.
Yeah,
they just like put him out to pasture.
The old Mammoth Headwear smacked him pretty good though.
I tell you what, it's a sturdy hat right there.
Yeah, knocked a wasp down. You you can get your own with code PUSH for 15% off. MammothHeadwear.com.
That is absolutely true.
If you want to take out wasps just like me.
Yeah, with a massive noggin cover.
You can't, dude. I feel like he's sneaking up on me on the ground.
100%. Well, go double tap him real quick. Check him.
He's hiding. He's underneath that shelf with all the bourbon on it.
Yeah, grab that pistol off the back wall there. Dead check him as we go back to the lobby.
Guys, welcome back to the lobby. And what an episode that was. A lot of stuff. I told you the sleeper hits were going to be banging, and there was a lot of stuff going on. With that being said, we're kind of looking forward. This episode is kind of like a little bit of a precursor to Summer Game Fest. Like we touched on some stuff that's going to be there, but you guys are going to want to stay tuned for the next episode. Friday, June 5th through June 8th kind of kicks off like everything going on with Summer Games Fest. I know Fry on his main channel is going to be covering all that stuff. So he's got stuff you want to check out as things are going in real time. But the cherry on top is going to be this next episode of the Push to Talk, where we'll be able to react to everything going on. What's the one thing from Summer Game Fest you're most looking forward to?
So I think we're going to see Modern Warfare. Since we lost the last episode, Infinity Ward has started to post more. I watched the entire like off podcast with the new game directors for Modern Warfare. They're starting to ramp up the marketing. So we're going to see Call of Duty this weekend, I think. I really hope we see Ghost Recon in some capacity. I've heard through the grapevine that the next game on Ubisoft's list after Assassin's Creed like Resync, the Black Flag remaster, apparently it's Ghost Recon. That's the next big one that they're going to talk about. Maybe we'll see that there. But dude, I'm excited to be with the community. I love doing the streams.
They're fun.
We have a lot of really cool stuff planned for that. So yeah, I'm excited to get to the weekend and finally see some new shit.
Oh man, I wish I had more time to do that. That is fun watching those with the community and like reacting to everything going on. I'm very interested in MW4 because I feel like we could be setting up for another Modern Warfare 2019 like COD resurgence for our style of game and community, like that our community's like a more grounded, gritty thing with the kind of how they've missed the mark with the last couple of Black Ops. I want a good search and destroy, man. It'd be so good if we got like MW4, like they're leaving old gen consoles finally, so we might see an engine upgrade like we did with 2019. If they continue the cadence of updates, one of the things that Black Ops 7 did do right was a shitload of post-launch content. So if they can do that with this game, man, we'll be cooking within a good S&D. We'll put so much time into that and have fun. So maybe COD will be decent again this year. The other thing I'm interested to see if we hear anything about is some of those games we've touched on. I feel like we've been talking for a couple years about these paranormal extraction shooters, but they're not getting here. Black Budget did have a sign up for another playtest on their Steam where you could sign up. So maybe they're going to announce something with Black Budget. That's going to be interesting to see how they took the feedback from the last playtest that Fry absolutely loved.
I love that one.
Oh,
that
it was so good.
Yeah.
Shooting game where the gunplay was ass. So yeah, that's what I'm interested to see. And then I feel like there's always like just one or two zinger surprises of FPS games that I don't see.
I think the big thing for like our community and the stuff that you and I talk about is it's not even going to be the stuff that we see on the main stage.
Yeah.
This is just a time where all the developers start talking about it on social media. So there's going to be a whole bunch of news from stuff that's not at Summer Games Fest, but still wants to be involved in the conversation. So,
yeah. And then they have those,
that's what I'm excited about.
There's also a Steam Next Fest coming in the middle of June. We'll see some stuff there. And then, along with Summer Game Fest, there's still those smaller shows, right? Like the Future Game Show and the PC Gaming Show, like
exactly.
PC Gamers thing. And so,
there's
some other opportunities that aren't the main stage to get some cool stuff on some indie titles and things like that. But I really think the headliner will probably be COD. I think we'll see some big MW4 stuff on the main stage.
Yeah, well, and the big thing for me too is COD and Gears E-Day. Gears of War. I don't know if you're a big Gears guy, but that's happening Sunday after the Xbox show.
Yeah, there's like a E-Day Direct, like so they're just talking about Gears. Yeah, I'm not a big Gears guy. So.
I can't fucking wait for that game.
It's gonna be a big disappointment.
Why you say that? Why are you doing that to me?
I'm just trying to set your expectations.
I indulge Way of the Hunter 2, and I cheer you on, and you shut me down at every turn.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit size project.
That's fair.
It's not apples to apples there, bud.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
No, it'll be good. I don't really, dude. I've never played a Gears. I don't know anything about them.
Well, they're third-person shooters, so that tracks. You're not really good at them. So
yeah, because I only like to play competitive, reasonable games that are well designed.
Yes. Oh, well designed. Oh, you hit me in the fucking chest there.
Yeah.
All right,
but anyway,
guys.
All that to say.
Take us out.
I was going to say, all that to say, the next episode is going to be awesome. We'll round up everything for Summer Game Fest. With that being said, there's a lot of free ways you guys can support this show. Leaving a like, sharing the video around, and 5-star reviews on the audio platforms helps us quite a bit. So please be a friend and tell a friend about our show. It's been growing. We love that, and we appreciate you guys so much. And leave a comment, and we read all of them. Leave all your feedback. As well as if you guys do want to get these shows commercial free and early, patreon.com/bigfry. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of just saying this now out of my ass, but I feel like once I get moved and like settle down and stuff, we should maybe think about some like Patreon exclusive content, maybe some shows or something.
I agree. I have some plans I want to talk to you about after you get settled. We'll get a couple more episodes in. I want to do custom episodes or like exclusive episodes on Patreon. And I also want to talk about taking this off my channel and starting to brand and do clips and do other stuff. I have a bunch of ideas.
Oh boy.
Because we're growing and more people are watching, more people are tuning in. And, with the interviews that we've been doing, it's exactly how I thought it was going to go. And we're crushing it. I'm having a good time doing it.
Thanks to you guys.
As long as this fucking podcast software doesn't screw us today, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
If it does, you'll never see any of this.
No shit. Guys, my name is Big Fry. You guys can catch me everywhere. Just search Big Fry. Crash, you can search him. You have I gotta say, we gotta get your social media. Tell people where to follow you. You have a bunch of different names.
Yes, FPS_Crash on X, and then probably the other main one would be Twitch. I stream a lot on Twitch and hang out with the community. Twitch.tv/Crash8. Crash is a more common name than Big Fry, and people took them from me. I do the best
1 through 7. Yeah, and what's your YouTube channel for those who are listening?
It is @CrashGame is the tag.
There you go. Yeah, and you guys can catch the scope. I want to say it's every Thursday, but sometimes it's been shifting, obviously, with the schedule.
Yeah, we try every Thursdays. Every Thursday.
And where can they find that?
It is on that episode, or on that as well. There's a playlist for that Scope podcast. And if you are a podcaster person, if you're listening to this one all the way through, you're driving, you need some more stuff, that's another. We do that in a live format, the Scope FPS podcast. We do a live news reaction thing to that too. So you can get all the FPS news. I get a podcast about FPS games a lot, and I really have fun doing it.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Awesome, man. Well, I will catch you after Summer Games Fest, and we will catch you guys on the next one.
See you guys.
Wait, what's the segment name?
I think it's like a meta breakdown. I gotta step this episode up a little bit here.
Let's do it.
All right. Guys, in the meta breakdown, we are going to be talking about why are you laughing at me? Just let me do this.
God, I need to step this one up. Guys, let me tell you, your energy just went 0 to 100. Go for it. I'm sorry.
Dude. What? I got nothing. That's
I've been sitting on this the whole session, just down here like this, just ready to go.
Dude, you're so excited to pull that thing. Man, I got nothing, dude.
You killed a fucking wasp. Boy, you're badass.
I did.
I'm here with little 3D printed
I think I
pop
mortally
guns.
wounded one.